𝗪𝗂𝗪𝗀𝗀 ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। Okay, so I am going to speak about glories of Madhvacharya, and that in itself is a glorious task, because to remember Madhvacharya, to speak about Madhvacharya, to think about him, that in itself is utmost purifying, because remembering Lord and his devotees are equally purifying. Just like we say Hare Krishna mantra, that's purifying. Similarly, if you say Madhvacharya ki jai, that's equally purifying. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in Adi Leela, he mentions so many Gaudiya Vaishnava devotees, so one after one. And so many branches he mentions, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's branches, and Nityanand Prabhu Shakha, Advait Prabhu Shakha, then Sri Khandvasi, Sri Katvavasi. He mentions names after names after names, and then in the end he tells why I'm mentioning so many names. Because simply mentioning their names and remembering them is purifying. Even Raghunath Das Goswami, he used to pay 1,000 obeisances daily to different Vaishnavas. Now why then you can ask from where he is finding 1,000 Vaishnavas. Well, he used to think about a Vaishnava in his mind and pay dandavat, and then think another Vaishnava in his mind and pay dandavat. Well, for that you should know 1,000 Vaishnavas, first of all, the names of 1,000 Vaishnavas, but he knew, so he was doing that in his mind. So that's the point. That's why we are discussing about glories of Madhvacharya. Discussing about Madhvacharya is, at least according to me, it's more purifying than reading Bhagavatam, what I find. Because why? Because Bhagavatam, to understand and to enter Bhagavatam is very difficult, because it's a Paramaham Shastra. Nigamakalpataru, Galitam Phalam, what's that? No. Paramaham Shastra, they are Bhagavatam. In the first chapter, first canto, they say it's Paramahamsyam Shastra. It is for Paramahamsas, means and Paramahamsa means even beyond sannyas, even those people are qualified to read Bhagavatam. And by Mahaprabhu's mercy we can read, but we cannot enter the mysteries and the sweetness of Bhagavatam immediately, because we are on that conditioned platform. But when we talk about devotees, that's easy to understand. Their actions, their teachings, it's easy and it is more beneficial. So, who is Madhvacharya? Let's talk about him. Madhvacharya, he's one of the acharyas of our sampradaya. He's our sampradaya acharya, and he, at least our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya Acharya. There are 4 sampradayas in Kali Yuga, with them which are mentioned in Padma Puran. And these sampradayas which are mentioned in Padma Puran, they are, it is said, Shri Brahmarut Kumar Vaishnava Sheti Pavana. Kala Usmin Yuge, they say in this Kali Yuga there are 4 Vaishnava sampradayas, Shri, Rudra, Kumar and Brahm. And in these 4 sampradayas, there are 4 acharyas. That's also mentioned. Their name is mentioned. This verse comes in Padma Puran, and the names are Shri, it's Ramanuja; Kumar, it's Nimbarkacharya; Rudra is Vallabhacharya or Vishnu Swami; and Brahm sampradaya, it is Madhvacharya. And in the same sampradaya, we are coming. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took initiation from Ishwar Puri. He took initiation from Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya is supposed to be disciple of Lakshmipati Tirth, who is belonging to Madhva Sampradaya. Now I don't want to go into this controversy that some people say that, well, our Gaudiya Sampradaya, Pancham Sampradaya, doesn't come in the four Sampradayas, but that's absolutely ridiculous, because Kavi Karnpur Das, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Baldev Vidyabhushan, all of them has clearly accepted and defined and even let's say authorized the fact that we belong to Brahma Madhav Sampradaya. Brahma Madhav Gaudiya Sampradaya, that's how it goes. But you might say, well, Madhva Sampradaya's philosophy is different, his philosophy is Dvait Siddhant, our philosophy is 𝗙𝗲𝗋𝗃𝗃 Siddhanta. So, so what should we do? Dvait, our philosophy is different, our concept is different, little bit different, their concept is different. Well, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, yeah, there is a difference in philosophy, that's okay, but that doesn't mean that we are different sampradaya. What that means, all that means is that Mahaprabhu took the Siddhanta of Madhvaita, Dvaita, and he actually upgraded that Siddhanta into Achintya Bheda Ved. So our Siddhanta, Achintya Bheda Ved, the foundation of that is Madhva Siddhanta, Dvait Siddhanta, but it is upgraded. And that's how Bhaktivinoda Thakur sees how we belong to Brahma Madhav Gaudiya Sampradaya. That is the harmonization in that we belong to Brahma Madhav Gaudiya Sampradaya. Okay, so having said that, let me talk about Madhvacharya. This was just a side note. Who is Madhvacharya? Madhvacharya, he is, if you go to Udupi, they will actually tell you a verse about Madhvacharya, and they will say, Prathmo Hanumantaha, Dvitiyo Bhima, Tritiyo Ananda Tirth. In Rig Ved, there is a section Balitha Sukta. Balitha Sukta. In Rig Ved there are many suktas. Suktas means many hymns or prayers or chants. And for example, Rig Ved starts with Agni Sukta, a hymn to Agni, a praise to Agni. And there is Varun Sukta, Indra Sukta. So there are many suktas. One of the sukta is Balitha Sukta. And in that sukta, prediction about Madhvacharya is given. And it is said, Madhvacharya, the first incarnation of Madhvacharya is Hanuman, the second is Bhima, and third is Madhvacharya or Ananda Tirth. One of the names of Madhvacharya is Ananda Tirth. And who is he? He is Vayu Dev. Madhvacharya is, originally his Swarupa is Vayu, or you can say Mukhya Pran. His Swarupa is Mukhya Pran. Mukhya Pran means all the living entities, the body is working due to pranas. It's breathing. Your breathing stops, you die. So pranas, one of the function of prana is breathing. Another function of pranas is actually to sustain life force in our body. So Madhvacharya is incarnation of that Mukhya Pran. He is Mukhya Pran. Quite powerful personality and a pure devotee of Krishna. So that Mukhya Pran incarnated in Ramayana as Hanuman, he incarnated in Mahabharata as Bhima, and he incarnated recently 800 years back as Madhvacharya, who actually propagated pure devotion on this planet. Madhvacharya, his mission of life, his mission was to actually defeat and destroy Mayavad. That was his vision. And he was sent by Lord Narayana into this world to destroy Mayavad, because Shankara propagated Mayavad or Advait Siddhanta, which said we are God. In very broad sense, we are God, Everybody is God. Everything is God. If everything is God, then what is this heart, mud, earth, fire? What is this? This is illusion. We think that there is mud, water, fire, space, there are so many things. But Shankara says, no, everything is God. You see them like that, this is illusion. So this is Madhvacharya. So Ramanujacharya came and he actually defeated Mayavad. But he didn't really defeat it to the core. So Madhva came and Lord Narayana, he sent Madhva to actually complete the job of Ramanuja, and Madhva, his whole life was dedicated to destroy Mayavad. If we see the works of Madhvacharya, we will find that he was, let's say, he was an enemy of Mayavad, like that. If you see commentaries of Madhvacharya, you will find that he takes each and every line of Shankaracharya and just flips it. That's all. So in fact, you can write a commentary of Madhvacharya without seeing the commentary of Madhvacharya by your own. You just take Shankaracharya's commentary, whatever he says, just make it opposite to whatever he says. Just write whatever Shankara says, just write just opposite to that, and that will be Madhvacharya's commentary. Almost he does like that. So so what happens? Madhvacharya's commentary it's like that. So the point I was telling is that he was a born enemy of Mayavad. All his works, all his commentaries are largely based on defeating Mayavad. That's all. That's what he's doing. And precisely that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy with Madhvacharya, and that's why Madhvacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted Madhvacharya Sampradaya as his own Sampradaya, because Mayavad is a philosophy which can destroy devotion. Mayavad bhashe sunule hoye sarvanash. And Madhvacharya did sarvanash of Mayavad, and Mahaprabhu was very happy. And in fact, in Kali Yuga, this is very important, because everybody is Mayavadi. Everyone is Mayavadi. So if everyone is Mayavadi, then you need a strong basis, you need a strong understanding of how Mayavad is wrong. Otherwise, it's very difficult to even do devotion. In fact, Madhvacharya, he says that even if you don't understand Mayavad and if you don't defeat it, even in devotional, even in Vaishnavism, we have many Mayavadi concepts. We are not Mayavadi, but we have many Mayavadi concepts because of which we are not able to do devotion nicely and we fall into illusion. So that's why Mahaprabhu accepted Sampradaya of Madhvacharya. He entered that Sampradaya. So Madhvacharya, he had many names, by the way. His mission was to defeat Mayavad. Actually, Madhvacharya wanted to kill all the people of this Kali Yuga, all the demons. He said, well, I am Mukhya Prana, I can do that. I am Hanuman, I can kill all the useless demons who are born in this world. But Lord Narayan said, no, don't kill them. That's not the point. Kill the wrong philosophy. That's what you should be doing. So he did that. Madhvacharya had many names, by the way. He was born in a village of 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗪. That's a village near Udupi in Karnataka, 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗪. You can still go there. And in fact, I lived in Udupi for 6 years because I did my medical from Manipal college, and I used to daily go to Udupi temple, daily, in fact daily, I never missed, and daily had darshan of Udupi Krishna, daily had nice prasadam. They serve nice prasadam there, free for everybody. So you go and take darshan of Krishna, first step. Next step, you go to the prasadam hall, take samar and chawal and mattha and then paisam. And then next step you come out and then go to Ananteshwar Temple, 𝗙𝗲𝗪𝗲 Temple, which are near Udupi Temple. And the next step is you go out and buy laddu from there, prasadam laddu, and eat that. The next step is you go and so there's a cane sugar shop there, famous. You drink some 2-3 cane sugar glasses, and then next step is you go back home. That's what I was doing 6 years. So I was fortunate to be there for 6 years. So I know about Madhva Sampradaya a lot. I mean to say, most devotees, they know Madhva Sampradaya from outside, but I know Madhva Sampradaya from inside. I have associated with the Swamijis and Vidyashthmat a lot, and seen inside how their worship goes, and we were also lucky because 𝗙𝗲𝗪𝗪𝗃 Swami, one of the Ashtmat there, 𝗙𝗲𝗪𝗪𝗃 Swami, they used to like us ISKCON devotees, and 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗃 Swami also, and they used to actually take us to the section where Brahmanas were there eating and doing puja, so we were there. So Madhvacharya, he had many names, by the way. One of the name which is very famous in Udupi is Anandatirth. This name Anandatirth, it is more famous than Madhvacharya, although we speak of Madhvacharya as Madhvacharya, but if you go in Udupi locally, they will say Anandatirth. Even in fact, many of the songs with Madhvacharya writes, in the end he mentions himself as Anandatirth and not a Madhvacharya. For example, so in that 𝗬𝗲 Stotra, Madhvacharya says Anandatirtha Paranandavarda. He says Udupi Krishna is giving in a lot of bliss. He gives bliss to Anandatirtha, and Anandatirtha is giving bliss to Udupi Krishna. He speaks about himself like that. So Anandatirtha was a very famous name which is still there, and people address Madhvacharya like that. Another name of Madhvacharya, which was actually titled by his own guru. Madhvacharya's guru was, who was that? Madhvacharya's guru was actually 𝗙𝗲𝗹𝗶𝗄. He was guru of Madhvacharya. He gave him title. He was so impressed by Madhvacharya's devotion that so initially Madhvacharya's guru was, it is said he was Mayavadi. There are some two opinions in that. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes that he was not Mayavadi, he was a Vaishnav from inside, but from outside he was acting as a Mayavadi. Why? Because at that time Mayavadis were very, very strong, and they were killing Vaishnavas, and they were actually not allowing any Vaishnavas to continue their devotion. So most of the Vaishnavas, they were taking Mayavad sannyas, but they were practicing Vaishnavism. And that's how we explain the sannyas of Madhvacharya Puri, that's Mayavad sannyas. Keshav Bharati, that's Mayavad sannyas. Madhvacharya Puri, you can say Mayavad sannyas, or you can also say Madhvacharya Puri can also be a sannyasi of Madhva Sampradaya, because in Madhva Sampradaya, sannyas title is mostly Tirtha. If you see Bhagavad Gita introduction, Parampara, you will find all Tirtha. So after Madhvacharya, Anand Tirtha, Madhvacharya Anand Tirtha, his title is Tirtha. And then comes Madhav Tirtha, Narari Tirtha, 𝗙𝗲𝗹𝗏 Tirtha, Jai Tirtha, Rajendra Tirtha, you see Lakshmipati Tirtha, all these Tirtha, their title is Tirtha. They always, Madhvacharya chose the sannyas title as Tirtha. In Shankara Sampradaya, there are 10 titles for sannyas, not just Tirtha. There are 10 titles, and one of the title is Puri. But even in Madhva Sampradaya, there is a title Puri. So if you go to Vyasaraya Mutt, it is said that they gave titles of Puri in Madhva Sampradaya when they were giving sannyas in North India. So there is a controversy, Madhvacharya Puri is belonging to Mayavad Sampradaya or Madhva Sampradaya. But even if we consider Keshav Bharati is obviously Mayavadi Sampradaya. Bharati title is Mayavadi. So why these people were taking Mayavad sannyas? Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took Mayavad sannyas. Why not Vaishnav sannyas? Because at that time Mayavadis were very strong, and they hated Vaishnavas and they were killing them. In fact, Bhaktisiddhanta writes that 𝗙𝗲𝗹𝗃, who was guru of Madhvacharya, his guru, 𝗙𝗲𝗹𝗃's guru, he was a Vaishnava, and Shankaracharya's disciples, they came to his mat, they actually broke his danda, they tore his clothes, they wiped his tilak, and they forced him to take Mayavad sannyas. He took Mayavad sannyas, but in his heart he was Vaishnava. So similarly, 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪, he was Mayavadi, but in his heart he was Vaishnava. This is opinion of our Gaudiya Vaishnavas. But if you go to Madhva Sampradaya, they have a different story. They don't accept 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 was externally Mayavadi, internally Vaishnava. They can't accept this proposal, because for them, if anybody is a Vaishnava, in fact, especially Dvaita Siddhant, he can never ever take to Mayavad sannyas. He will die, he will do suicide, but he will never put Tripundra and all this kind of stuff. He'll prefer death. So they said, well, 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 was a Mayavadi, and Madhvacharya converted into Dvaita Siddhant. He converted into Vaishnavism. And that was the power of Madhvacharya, a disciple converting Guru into Vaishnavism. Ramanujacharya converted his Guru, Yadav Prakash, into Vaishnavism. These were great people. So his Guru was so happy. He said, you saved me from Mayavad, this useless Siddhanta. So I gave you the title Anuman Tirtha. This was another name of Madhvacharya, Anuman Tirtha. One is Anand Tirtha, another is Anuman Tirtha. His logic was so strong that he could cut to pieces the entire philosophy of Mayavad, and not just defeat Mayavad by complex logics, but very simple logic and common sense. That's why he gave him the name Anuman Tirtha. So Madhvacharya had the name Ananda Tirtha, Anuman Tirtha. He also had name, this is another famous name of Madhvacharya is Purna Pragya. This name Madhvacharya he got when his Guru handed over the mutt, the Udupi mutt. No, it's actually not the Udupi mutt, but actually the Ananteshwar mutt. Initially in Udupi there was just one. Initially in Udupi there were two temples before Madhvacharya came. So 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪, he had his own mutt in Udupi, and that was Ananteshwar Temple. So in that temple there is a deity of Pashuramji. It is still there. That's the oldest temple. And besides that Ananteshwar Temple, there is another temple, Chandramauli Temple, where there is a deity of Lord Shiva. This was there in Udupi. So when Madhvacharya was born in a village, Pachaka Kshetra, near Udupi, I think around 15-20 kilometers far away, at the age of 7, he came to this temple, Ananteshwar Temple, and he took sannyas from 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪, because there were just two temples. So he took sannyas, Madhvacharya took sannyas at the age of 7 or 8. This is so even still, many sannyasis of Madhva Sampradaya, they are chosen at the age of 7 and 8 years. At Prabhupada's time, still sannyasis, they are so strong. Since the age of 7-8 years, they are sannyasis, and now these sannyasis are like 70-80 years. So 70 years of sannyas, you can imagine. And at Prabhupada's time, by the way, just a side note, Prabhupada's time there were few devotees who actually went to Udupi, and they said, okay, we want to, so they read Prabhupada books, so they read some philosophy, so they went to the sannyasi in Madhva Sampradaya, and they said, we want to discuss philosophy with you. So that sannyasi said, okay, come, and he gave them laddu, and he says, okay, goodbye. He didn't discuss these. I mean to say, Prabhupada's disciple at that time, I mean, these hippies, they were devotees for 4 or 5 years, read some philosophy, and they're going to a sannyasi who is taking sannyas at the age of 7-8 years, and now he's 70 years, and they want to discuss philosophy with them. This was like absurd. Anyway, that was a side note. So Madhvacharya at the age of 7, he left his parents. His father's name was Madhvacharya, and his mother's name was, I forgot his mother's name. Anyway, whatever. So they were great devotees actually. And they did penance for 12 years. They were not having a child, but they did penance for 12 years. And after that, Krishna blessed them with this child, Madhvacharya, incarnation of Mukhya Pran. At the age of 7 years, Madhvacharya left. Actually, at the age of 1 year, 1.5 years, Madhvacharya left his home. 1.5 years, you can imagine. was a baby, just started walking and he left his home. He said, this material world is useless. I must serve Krishna. 1.5 years, you can imagine. You don't even remember what you were doing at 1.5 years, just passing stool and urine and sucking your thumb, that's all. Madhvacharya at 1.5 years, he said this material world is useless and the purpose of life is to serve Narayan and Krishna. So I must leave my home to perfect my life. This material world is bondage. These parents and father, mother, they are attachments. So he just, 1.5 years, he just left his home and he went to Ananteshwar Temple alone. He was a baby and he was wearing a diaper and nothing. And he was going, and people were watching, my God, where this baby is going, 1.5 years. And then they said, so some females came, they said, oh my dear baby, so you need some milk, where is your papa and mama? So he said, my father is Narayan. And he's everywhere. So he said, you should not go in forest, there's so many animals, you should be afraid. So he said, anybody who has not taken a shelter of Narayan, they should be afraid. But I have taken a shelter of Narayan, so I am fearless. They said, who is this? So 1.5 years he went to Ananteshwar Temple and he said to 𝗪𝗪𝗃 in Ananteshwar Temple, I want sannyas. 𝗪𝗪𝗃 said, what? He said, you need a milk bottle. Sannyas, 1.5 years. He said, you Baba, go back. So his parents came running to Ananteshwar Temple. They said, where is a boy? And they found Varanasi. He said, come on, you come back. They named the boy as Vasudev. So Madhvacharya's initial name was Vasudev. This was another name of Madhvacharya, which was given by his parents, Vasudev. And his parents used to call him Vasu. So people shorten the names, Vasu. They used to call him Vasu. So, but then at the age of 7 years, he took sannyas. He just left, and his mother was telling, as usual, I'll do suicide if you take sannyas, Vasu, I can't live without you. So Madhvacharya says, okay, do sannyas, do suicide. Vasu said, do suicide, no problem. But you should not come in between me and Krishna. And you should not hinder the mission of Krishna. Krishna has a mission, I have to fulfill that. Don't become an obstacle in the mission of Krishna, otherwise you'll go to hell. He don't like that. 7 years. So his mother said, oh, come on, what can we do? This boy is different. So he just left. He went to 𝗪𝗪𝗃's Math, Ananteshwar Temple, and he took sannyas. There he stayed for many years and he studied. He changed his guru to Vaishnavism. He developed a new philosophy of Dvaita. When he was in his math, he defeated so many Buddhists, 𝗦ayists, so many 𝗙𝗪𝗃s. And his guru was so happy. He said, now you should go all around India and promote and propagate your philosophy of Dvaita and defeat Mayavad. And so I hand over this math to you. You should become in charge. And your name would be Purn Pragya. So that was another name of Madhvacharya, Purn Pragya. These are some famous names of Madhvacharya. One of the name, of course, after Madhvacharya, after he got so many disciples, he was given this title Madhvacharya, Acharya. He became Acharya because he established the math, he propagated the philosophy. He actually wrote commentaries on 𝗪स्थान-त्रय to actually give foundation to his Dvaita Sampradaya, because any Sampradaya who has to call himself bona fide, they have to write commentaries on 𝗪స్థान-त्रय. 𝗪స్థान-त्रय means you have to write commentaries on 3 things. One is Vedanta Sutra, another is Gita, and another is Upanishads. You have to write commentaries on this. And so then other people accept, okay, so now you are Acharya. If you want to be called as Acharya, you have to write commentaries on these 3. At that time it was like that. So he wrote commentaries, so then they started calling him Acharya, and they started calling him Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya means Madhu. Madhu means, there are 2 meanings of Madhvacharya. Madhva comes from the word Madhu plus A. So Madhu plus Va. So Madhu means sweet. Sweet. So who actually extracted the sweetness from the Vedas, he is Madhvacharya. That's why I used to call him Madhvacharya. There is another meaning of Madhvacharya. Madhu, Va means strength. So who gives strength? Madhu means devotion. Who gives strength? Madhu is sweet, sweet is devotion. Devotion is sweet. Who gives strength to devotion and to devotees? He is Madhvacharya. So this is one of the names of him. These are some famous names of Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya, Poon Pragya, Ananda Tirth, Anumana Tirth. If you go to Udupi, they know all these names, and there are some rare names of Madhvacharya, titles given to him. For example, 𝗙𝗲𝗹𝗪𝗲 is one title given to him because he summarized entire Vaishnava philosophy in 10 points. In 10 points he summarized entire Vaishnava philosophy, and the Baldev Devotion took the same 10 points and he formed, that became the basis of a Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya in the form of 𝗙𝗲𝗪𝗲𝗀. Same, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes a whole book on this 10 point 𝗙𝗲𝗪𝗲𝗀, and he says this is a philosophy of Mahaprabhu. So we are not Pancham Sampradaya, we belong to Madhva Sampradaya because our bases are 𝗙𝗲𝗪𝗲𝗪. Our bases are 10 points, 10 golden points of Madhva Sampradaya, and on the basis of that we have developed our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Of course, we have brought Ras Tattva into Madhva Sampradaya, and that's why our Sampradaya is an updated version of Madhva Sampradaya. That's what we can say. That's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. So anyway, so these are the many names of Madhvacharya, and then he preached all over the world and all over India. He traveled all over India with his disciples. His four main disciples were Padmanabh Tirth, Narari Tirth, Madhav Tirth and Akshobhya Tirth. And all these 4 disciples, he sent them outside Udupi to preach, to say in various state of Karnataka and borders of Karnataka and South India. And these 4 disciples, they established mutt outside Karnataka. But, outside Udupi. But within Udupi, he made many other disciples, and he actually in Udupi he established, one of his main contribution was establishing Udupi Krishna Temple. I told you in Udupi there was just 2 temples, Ananteshwar and Chandramauli. But then later Madhvacharya went with his disciples to Malpe beach. There's a beach near Udupi, Malpe. He went, and so there's a famous Balram temple there. Balram temple are very rare in this world, and there's a Balram temple. So there he went, and there was a ship which was drowning. Madhvacharya is Vayudev, so there was a storm. With this shawl, he waved his shawl like that, and the whole storm subsided, and he actually, the ship came to the beach safely, and the captain, he said, "Oh, actually, do you want something? So we are bringing a big chandan block from Dwarka, and I see you people use a lot of chandan to actually, you put a paste on Krishna's deity, on Vishnu's deity, you put chandan tilak, so you can take this." So he said, okay. So they took chandan tilak, and within that big block of chandan tilak, there was a deity. When they broke, there was a deity of Krishna, Udupi Krishna. Beautiful Bal Krishna deities. This is the same deity, it is said, which Rukmani ji made, or which Rukmani ji manifested in Dwarka by praying to Vishwakarma in Dwarka, because she said to Krishna that I couldn't see your childhood pastimes, so I need to pray, I need to worship your child form. So Krishna told Vishwakarma to make a deity. He made a deity of Bal Krishna. So if you see Udupi Krishna, he's with a stick and smiling, very nice smile, and like a boy, a kid, small boy. And that deity so Rukmani ji worshipped in Dwarka, and that deity somehow it came from Dwarka to Udupi, and that's the same deity. So Madhvacharya brought that deity. So people wanted to lift that deity, and even 10 people could not lift, but Madhvacharya just lifted with one hand, and he just put the deity on one hand, and he started walking to Udupi temple, to Udupi Ananteshwar Temple, and on the way he actually sang 12 songs spontaneously, which were called as Dvadash Stotra, in the praise of Krishna. And then he came to Udupi and he installed Krishna there. So in Udupi there is a third temple, Udupi Krishna Temple, which is now one of the famous temple, even more famous than Ananteshwar and Chandramauli. So there he established a temple, and then he established 8 mathas, 8 temples around Udupi Krishna Temple, a math, to actually manage Krishna's service. So he established 8 math, which are called as Ashtamath, and he gave 8 disciples of his, the in charge of these 8 mathas, and then they started worshipping Udupi Krishna. So each math, this is very nice. Thank you. Very nice. Jai Udupi Krishna ki jai. Yeah, this is Udupi Krishna. So actually Udupi Krishna, he wears so many dresses he wears. This is one of the dress. They dress him in, like they have dressed him like Narayan or Vishnu. We have Ananteshwar. They dress him like sometimes like Devi also. They dress him sometimes with cow. Very nice dresses he has. Sometimes like a king they dress. So yeah, there are many dresses. Yeah, you can show them images of Udupi Krishna. Very beautiful. He has a rod and he's churning butter. He churns butter there. Yeah, see, so many dresses are there of his. This is one dress, blue dress. Yeah, you can show like this on the side. This is one dress. I think he's dressed as I don't know. I think he's dressed as Vamandev or something like that. I don't know. But they dress him in very. Show another. I think you have to show some other. Yeah, this is very common dress. Krishna with cow and flute. So this is Vrindavan form, which is very unusual because Vrindavan form, they don't really meditate on Vrindavan form, but they dress him like that. And then we have, what other we have? Dress. Yeah, this is beautiful. This is like a Devi. This is like Rukmani ji, they have dressed something like that because they have Juda and this dress. So this is another thing. They dress Udupi Krishna as Devi also because they say in all goddesses. So ultimately goddesses are expansions of Krishna. So they dress him like this. And then what else is there? Yeah. This is also like a female. You see, it's complete female dress. So Varalakshmi Avatar, they dress him like Lakshmi. So why they are dressing him like this? To actually show that all the forms and all the incarnations, all the forms of God and goddesses, they are dependent on Krishna. All the forms are actually have existence only because of Krishna. That's why they are dressing like this. So can you see so can you show the form right below this picture? Below this picture, right below this picture. No. So not here, there in this. Yeah, this one, yeah. So this is the original form of Udupi Krishna without dress, with a churning butter rod, and this is beautiful form there, Udupi Krishna. So we used to go daily and have darshan. Yeah, this is without. So you can see a rod and you can see a rope below his feet on the knees. There is a rope going. He is holding a rope. So this is a churning butter form. So Rukmani ji, she wanted to meditate on this form where he is churning butter. So this means his age should be like around 5, 6, so between 5 to 10 years old, something like this. So she was worshipping this form 5 to 10 years old. So this is Udupi Krishna, Bala Krishna. So anyway, so can you also show one? So you just search Ananteshwar Temple and the place of Madhvacharya. So Madhvacharya ended his pastimes in actually Ananteshwar Temple. So there's a place in Ananteshwar. So in the end, so of course he established this mathas, and in the end, so when he was giving a lecture, he used to daily give lecture in Ananteshwar Temple, not in Udupi Temple. So there's a place where he used to sit, and that place is still there. So you can go and have darshan of that place. He was sitting, and he was actually lecturing on 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶𝗹. His most, so this is Ananteshwar Temple. You see this photograph? Is a beautiful temple. This is 𝗪𝗪𝗪 Temple. So this is Parikrama mark there. Yeah, this is Ananteshwar Temple. This is picture of Ananteshwar. This is Udupi. So this is 𝗪𝗪𝗪, they say. This is 𝗪𝗪𝗪ji temple there. Because whole Karnataka and Kerala is actually 𝗪𝗪𝗪 Kshetra. Because what happened? So when 𝗪𝗪𝗪ji, he actually destroyed Kshatriyas for 21 times, and then he actually washed his 𝗪𝗪. His 𝗪𝗪 is his axe in Kurukshetra, in the holy waters of Brahmatirtha, and then he threw his hand. Then he said, okay, it's done, I don't want to, it's all like Kshatriyas are finished, 21. So then he threw his axe from Kurukshetra, and it landed in sea, in the present region of Karnataka and Kerala, and wherever his axe landed, the sea receded back. It receded back. So that's why we have Karnataka. So it receded back. So then when sea receded back, so then we had land of Karnataka and Kerala there. So this whole Karnataka and Kerala desh, it is called as 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 Kshetra. So that is why there is Ananteshwar Temple, 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪. Can you show that? So that is 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 Temple. That's why there is a temple of 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪. It's 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 Kshetra, and it is also called as Naga Kshetra because that land was under sea. So there are so many snakes there. Yeah, so you can show Ananteshwar Temple. Just show some other pictures of Ananteshwar. Yeah, so this is how you have darshan of Ananteshwar from outside. So as soon as you enter the temple, so you can't go inside this whole thing. You have to stand. So where this picture is taken, you have to stand, and then you can have darshan like this. You see, like you can't see much because there's darkness, but anyway, still you can see something. So in Ananteshwar Temple, there is a place where Madhvacharya left his body. Okay, this is the entrance of Ananteshwar Temple. Below this picture, there. No. Yeah. So this is a this is the entrance of Udupi Krishna. So below this picture, no. So not here, there on this side. Yeah, this one. This is the entrance of Ananteshwar Temple. Here, this is the entrance. So when we go to Udupi Krishna, first we go to Ananteshwar Temple, and then we go to Udupi Krishna. That's the system. People don't know, but we generally do that. We go to Ananteshwar Temple, and then we go to Krishna Temple. That's how, because first we take. Okay. So can you click? So this is 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪. This is like a linga there, but then there is 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 also. So it's quite mixed. If you will go have darshan, you will be confused because you will think it's a Shivling or it's 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪. It will be a little confusing, but it is 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪ji. Okay, so in Ananteshwar Temple there is a Madhvacharya place of sitting. I think maybe Google will show that. So in Ananteshwar Temple there is a window from where you will have darshan, where Madhvacharya used to sit. I don't know. Probably you should type Ananteshwar and Madhvacharya Peeth, something like that. It will come. So he used to sit, and there he was giving lecture on 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶𝗹, and suddenly there were flowers from the sky. They fell. Flowers from the demigods started showering flowers, and the flowers came here, then neck, then here, and then complete. And then when disciples removed the flower, he was no longer there. He disappeared, and he went to Badrika Ashram, Badrinath, not Badrika Ashram, I am in Badrika Ashram, this is our Badrika Ashram. Badrinath he went, where Mool Badrinath, where Vyasadeva lives. Madhvacharya is disciple of Vyasadeva. Okay, fine. So Madhvacharya is, or you can type the place where Madhvacharya disappeared, something like this. So Madhvacharya is disciple of Vyasadeva. Of course, Madhvacharya, I told he was disciple of 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪, but in all sense, because Madhvacharya did a favor on 𝗙𝗃𝗃 by actually changing him from Advait to Dvaita. But his original guru is Vyasadeva. He went to Badrinath and he actually met Vyasadeva and he took initiation from him. So he writes there, my guru is Vyasadeva. He is very frank on that. He met Vyasadeva. Still Vyasadeva is staying in Badrinath, but Mool Badrinath, not this Badrinath. This Badrinath is 𝗠𝗲𝗪 Badrinath, and replication of original Badrinath. Original Badrinath we can't see, that's in another dimension, and Madhvacharya could access that dimension. So he went there, so he's still there with his guru Vyasadeva, and till the end of time he'll be there with Vyasadeva as his disciple. Madhvacharya had he had his brother, younger brother Govinda, who also became disciple of Madhvacharya later, and Madhvacharya told, and he is also still living, he is also eternal, because Madhvacharya taught Vishnu Sahasranam to him, and according to Madhvacharya, every name of Vishnu has 1,000 meanings. So he said anybody who knows all the 1,000 meanings of all the 1,000 names of Vishnu, he becomes eternal. So he taught this to Govinda. He is the only person who knows 1,000 meanings of all the 1,000 names. He is also still there in Badrinath with Madhvacharya. They are all there still, and they are praying for us, Kali Yuga souls, fallen souls, so that we can do devotion to Krishna, and we can be saved from this pollution and contamination and what all. You know all these things better than we know all these things better than them. We know contamination better than them. We are pure devotees of contamination, isn't it? So he disappeared, and then but he wrote, I told you, he wrote many books. He wrote so his works, all works are divided into 4 parts. One is commentaries, which he wrote on Gita, on Upanishad, commentaries on Vedas, Rig Veda, and Vedanta Sutra and Upanishads. First category. Another category is he wrote commentary on Puranas, like for example he wrote Mahabharata Tatpar Nirnay, Bhagavad Tatpar Nirnay. He also wrote commentary on Gita, which is a part of Purana, Mahabharata, Itihas. Another set of so another category of his books are his independent, are actually in his independent works. So he has written 37 works. If you go to Udupi, if you ask his works, all 37 works, they might give you one book which is named as 𝗙𝗲𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗃, and in that one book all 37 books are published. Now all 37 works you can publish in one book, because his style is to write small and brief and terse, very terse. Anantetirtha Pratishthan Madhva.
Is it? I don't know. It's all written in Kannada.
Yeah. Fine. I don't think so. It's not like this. It's like window. It's like a window there. From window there is a. Okay, yeah. This one. Yeah, this one. Yeah. Fine. Show this. Yeah. This is a window, and if you see in this window, then you will see a seat on which Madhvacharya used to sit. And this is a place. So this is the Parikrama mark of Ananteshwar Temple. So this devotee, he is standing on the Parikrama mark, and when you go on Parikrama mark, then this is a window, and you have to see inside the window like this, and then you will see a seat there, and there Madhvacharya was sitting and lecturing, and he disappeared. This is a place. Yeah, you're right. So yeah. Thank you for that. So his 37 works are compiled into one book, 𝗙𝗲𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗃. So if you go to Udupi, if you go on net, just type 𝗙𝗲𝗪𝗲𝗃, and that book 𝗙𝗲𝗪𝗲𝗃 will be there, and there his all 37 works are there. So this is the third category of his books. And the fourth category is his songs. He wrote many songs like Dvadash Stotra, and he wrote other songs Basically, his Dwadash Stotra is very famous. In Udupi, if you go, every day they sing these Dwadash Stotras. Every day, every kid, even a dog of Udupi knows Dwadash Stotra. You can go on net and you can listen to this Dwadash Stotra. That will be very nice songs, very nice. 𝗪𝗲𝗪𝗲𝗪𝗲𝗪𝗲. This is very famous song, very nice tune. And they sing in the night when they make Krishna sleep, they are singing this song. In the afternoon they sing Dwadash Stotras. In the morning Dwadash Stotras are, so if you go after Mangal Aarti at that time, they play Dwadash Stotra there of Madhvacharya. So this is all about Madhvacharya in very brief. There are many things I could have told. He did many miracles. So if you go to his birthplace, Pajaka Kshetra, you will find a tree which is upside down. The roots are up, the branches are down. So you might say, what's this? So Madhvacharya, he took the tree and he took the tree, uprooted it, put it upside down to convince his parents that he is no ordinary child. So if you go to Pajaka Kshetra, there is a big rock which he put on the stove. His mother asked Madhvacharya when he was a child to look after the milk. So milk was boiling, so he thought what to do. He took a big rock which is size of the room and he put it on the stove. So stove was just buried in the ground. Mother said, where's the stove? It's beneath the rock because milk was boiling. And like that he did so many miracles. But miracles are not that important, by the way. What important is his teachings and his dedication to Krishna. And he said, he actually defined devotion in a very different way. I mean to say, he defined devotion. He defined devotion in many ways, what we understand. Service to God, that is devotion. But he said devotion is 𝗪𝗃𝗃 𝗪𝗃. He said ultimately devotion means to fulfill the mission and the desires of God. That is devotion. So either you can say to serve Krishna, or you can say to actually to fulfill the desires of Krishna, or to fulfill his mission. That is one of the same thing. But the sense in which we say the devotion is 𝗪𝗃𝗃 𝗪𝗃, that means who completes the work of Hari. That is a very nice meaning and a very different way to look at the same the meaning of devotion. Very nice. So 𝗪𝗃𝗃 𝗪𝗃, he said we should try. What is devotion? We should try to fulfill the mission of Lord. Try to fulfill his desires in this material world. Krishna wants to do something in this material world. He wants to achieve something. Just participate in that and do that. So that is what he defined devotion. His works are very nice. If you get a chance, you can read his works. Very devotional, very nice, very concise and precise to the point. He doesn't like to beat around the bush. That is about Madhvacharya. I think I can speak much more, but that's fine enough. Hare Krishna. 𝗙 Prabhupada ki jai. Madhvacharya ki jai. Any questions? Otherwise I'm done here.